His mouth was on hers before she could scream, one hand fisted in her braids, the other slamming the archival room door shut behind them. And Susan Adebayo's first coherent thought, even as her body arched into Kim Jae-sung's, even as she tasted expensive whiskey and something darker on his tongue, was that this wasn't passion. This was silencing. Welcome to Afro-Korean Soul Romance. Stick with me. Like, comment, subscribe, and turn on your notifications. This gets messy, sexy, and completely unhinged. You've been warned. She shoved hard against his chest, breaking the kiss with a gasp. He pulled back half an inch, breathing ragged, his eyes black with something between rage and hunger. You taste like trouble, he whispered against her swollen mouth, his body still pinning her to the shelves. And I've always had expensive taste. Susan's palm connected with his cheek in a sharp crack that echoed through the dimly lit archive. Get off me. In a moment. His hand caught her wrist, not painfully but immovably, while his other hand traced her jaw with aching gentleness that contradicted the violence still humming between them. First, tell me why you were photographing classified documents in a restricted archive at midnight. Her blood froze, the flash of her phone camera. She'd been so careful, waited until the security rotation disabled the motion sensors. The sensors weren't disabled, Jae-sung said, reading her face with clinical precision. We wanted to see what you'd do, how far you'd go. His hand slid from her jaw to rest against her throat. Not squeezing, just there like a promise. Turns out quite far. Professor Okonkwo taught you well. I don't know what you're talking about. Liar. He said it like an endearment, his lips hovering near hers again, close enough that she could feel every word. Project Lotus, Nigerian drug trials, Korean pharmaceutical companies, shell corporations connecting your government's corruption to my family's empire. You've been researching it for 3 weeks. Very thorough, very dangerous, very... His mouth curved against her cheek. Impressive. This was insane. The visiting lecturer everyone whispered about, whose family name graced half the university's buildings, whose brother allegedly ran Seoul's underground from a penthouse office, had just kissed her like drowning and was now describing her investigation like it aroused him. Why did you kiss me? Susan demanded, because it was easier than processing everything else. To stop you from running. His honesty was more terrifying than any lie. And because Minji was right. You are extraordinarily beautiful when you're furious. The name detonated through her like a grenade. Minji, her closest friend in Seoul. The person who'd helped her navigate Korean academic culture. Taught her which professors took bribes, which students were mafia children playing at education, which parties were recruitment grounds. Minji, who'd suggested researching Project Lotus. Who'd given her Professor Okonkwo's name. She set me up. She protected you. Jae-sung finally stepped back, giving her space that felt more dangerous than his proximity. My father's initial recommendation was disappearance. Tragic accident. Memorial scholarship in your name. But Minji argued you could be useful. So she arranged everything, the friendship, the research access, tonight's surveillance. All to prove your worth keeping alive. The archival room spun. Every coffee shop confession. Every late-night study session where Susan had shared her suspicions, her theories, her evidence. All of it reported. She's your half-sister, different mothers, same talent for manipulation. He straightened his tie, Italian silk, probably cost more than her entire year's tuition. And she's become quite attached to you. Unusual for Minji. She doesn't usually advocate for anyone. How generous. Susan's hands were shaking. She pressed them against the shelves. So what now? You kill me anyway? Make it look like I couldn't handle being an international student. God, no. Jae-sung looked almost offended. We need you. Your government wants proof their officials collaborated with Korean corporations on illegal trials. Our government wants proof Nigerian corruption facilitated everything. Both sides need a scapegoat narrative that protects their real power. His smile was sharp, empty. You're going to write that narrative. Academic paper, impeccable research, published in a journal we control. And you'll blame exactly who we tell you to blame. I'll refuse. Then evidence of your father's involvement surfaces. He delivered it gently, like offering condolences. Bank transfers, email chains. His signature on approval documents for Project Lotus's community protocols. He didn't know what he was approving, the documents were designed to obscure, but his signature is real. And ignorance looks like complicity when we control the framing. Her vision blurred. Her father, her gentle, idealistic father who believed education could change the world, who'd taken that ethics committee position to help protect vulnerable communities. You're monsters. Yes, Jae-sung agreed. But we're your monsters now. He moved toward the door, paused with his hand on the frame. The fluorescent light from the corridor carved harsh shadows across his face, making him look both younger and infinitely more dangerous. One more thing. His voice dropped, intimate again. That kiss? That was my decision. Not strategy. Not manipulation. Min-ji specifically told me not to touch you until after the briefing. His eyes met hers, and for the first time she saw something almost human beneath the calculated cruelty. I've never been good at following her plans. Then he was gone, footsteps echoing down the corridor, leaving Susan alone with the wreckage of her reality. Her phone buzzed. Message from Min-ji. Coffee tomorrow? Need to discuss your research direction. Jae-sung says you met tonight. Good. Trust me. Trust. What a cruel joke. Susan looked down at the files scattered across the desk. Evidence she'd been allowed to find. Evidence that was always bait. And underneath, a photograph she hadn't noticed before. Susan leaving her apartment 3 nights ago. Susan entering the library at midnight. Susan meeting Professor Okonkwo in what she'd thought was a secret location. The surveillance had never been offline. On the photo's back, elegant Korean script with English translation. She's perfect. Proceed with acquisition. Mother approves the match. Match. Not recruitment. Not manipulation. Match. The coffee dates. The intense conversations. The way Jae-sung had looked at her for months like she was both problem and solution. The way Min-ji had isolated her from other international students, binding her closer to their circle. The kiss that felt like claiming territory. Her phone buzzed again. Unknown number. Video file. She opened it. Footage from tonight. This room. But the angle showed what she'd missed. Min-ji standing in the doorway the entire time, watching her brother kiss Susan with an expression of possessive satisfaction. Watching like someone admiring an acquisition, or a gift. The video ended on a freeze frame. Min-ji's face, and below it, text in Korean and English. Family doesn't mean blood. Family means ownership. Welcome home, Susan. Mother wants to meet her new daughter, and brother's future wife. P.S. He kisses all his assignments like that? Didn't think so. This will be fun. Susan's reflection stared back from the darkened window. Her lips still swollen from Jae-sung's mouth. Her braids tangled from his grip. Her expression caught between fury and something more dangerous. The treacherous heat still coiling low in her stomach. The way her body had responded before her mind could object. They'd bought her scholarship, her apartment, her entire soul existence. They'd orchestrated her investigation, her friendships, her isolation. They'd decided she was useful, worth keeping, worth claiming. And the most terrifying part was the question burning through her as she touched her swollen lips. Had anything tonight been real, or was she so thoroughly owned that even her attraction had been purchased? Her phone lit up one final time. Jae-sung's number. Min-ji's wrong. This won't be fun. It will be devastating. For both of us. This is Afro-Korean soul romance. Stick with me. Like, comment, subscribe, and turn on your notifications for more of this.